All right, so I'm starting taking a video. I've just pulled into the driveway here. That way towards Highway 31 is a huge, really nice subdivision. About 3/4 of a mile that way it starts. This is the road leading back to that land. There's the neighbor's house. That's like, what, 9,500 or whatever. And we're going up a little hill here, and we'll drive back there right now.
Already have the gravel all the way into the property.
Not sure which side I'm supposed to be on. Probably the right side.
Probably.
Okay.
I think I can get in here.
That looks like it's going to somebody's.
Or maybe continue. But that's already.
I don't know. They should have some signs or something.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, it's not.
Well, let me look at, I think it's probably back that way because that turns, but let me look at the... All right, so I'm standing here. That's the neighbor's house. That's the green roof barn you see on the driveway as soon as the driveway turns that way into the field. Here's a gate. And yeah, so it's like up a little bit of a hill from the road, which is maybe 150 meters back that way. So we're walking in now onto the property. I see it up there. So we've already got a nice, like, this is a very wide driveway for a combine or something to drive down. Big old trees, and I'll take a video up there. All right, so we've made it to the end of the gravel road, and now we're looking at the hayfield. So from what I saw, it looked like maybe, I don't know, 50 yards, maybe 100 yards that way into the woods is still part of the property. So the property line is in the woods over here. And the other property is on that really overgrown edge of that cornfield. So this huge field in front of us is the entire property. Looks like there's a couple, so like a low spot, high spot back there towards the tree line. And this is looking back down this driveway. Yeah, so right now we're firmly on the property. Lots of big mature trees, all different kinds. And basically it's just a big hay field. Looks like it's like just like on Google Earth, like 300 meters long from where I'm standing down there, down to the very end. Okay, so somebody, just for listing and making it property accessible, has taken a bush hog and chopped a short 30 or 40 meter trail back into the side of the woods here. The entrance, so there's the field. We just walked from this direction this way, only another, 30 yards. So we walked in on that driveway right over there, maybe 70 yards from me right now. And what you see inside the woods, so the property line is probably maybe 20 yards that way. The property line running up the left edge of the first field is, there's like a wash, okay? So the field is higher than this low drainage area by, I don't know, just a few meters. So there is, there's a little bit of height to the field. All right, so just right off the bat, there's the entrance path. So that's the driveway coming in. There was that little path in there, so there's like a drainage gully in the woods there, about 40 meters in. And then right here would be maybe the very first building location. Just right inside the path, so that's where the driveway ends into the first part of the field. This is kind of a big hump right here. You could if you put a house right there and then left everything that way to be pole barns or another house way back there or whatever. But yeah, you could have a good building site right here, right as soon as the driveway enters the field. So right now I'm standing right at the corner, kind of in the middle of the field. That way back there is the entrance, the driveway entrance, and the land here, I'm standing on a really high spot, goes down in front of me, then back up onto this hill, then back down a little bit over the driveway. Here, right in front of me, is like the bump out. If you look at above the satellite image, there's like a bump out 3/4 of the way up the field. I'm probably like 5 meters higher than the back corner there, and just inside the wood line there, it really starts to go downhill into that wash. So right here is, I'd say, I mean, I don't know if you want the build site to be right on the corner in the middle of everything in the sun, but back there by that's the big woods area. Back there is also a high point, whereas basically this whole area in the second L, if the field is shaped like this whole area seems perfectly fine to build a house, and this area right here at the tip of my finger is fine to build a house. Yep. So this whole area back here in front of the big woods, which is that way, seems fine to build a house. It's all pretty level and uphill a lot from this area down here and the rest of the woods over here. All right, so now here, right here, where my thumb is where you enter on the driveway, and right now we're standing in front of the big woods on this part of the L. Right here would be a decent build site. Right there is like the deep woods, the big woods, like 250 meters of woods. And if you drive out that way and go that way, you'd be back on the road. Okay. But a good build site would be maybe right here in the corner. It's kind of a top of a hill. You can see it go down into the woods a decent amount. But I mean, also right here in front of the woods would be a decent build site. It goes like this up and then down into the woods. And it's a really wide area. From me to the woods right now is probably, to the closest point, 50 yards, and then to that farthest point, 100 yards, because it's kind of like a little finger that goes in. You'll see it from the top view. But yeah, I mean, there's good build sites everywhere here. There's a good build site at the top middle of this backfield. There's a good build site, and right here in front of the woods is a good build site. It's just really anything you want to do, and it's plenty of land. This is a 300 meter long field. It's probably, I don't know, 120 wide, maybe 100 wide, I don't know. And the woods itself is a 250 meter deep woods. So I'll go back in there right now and see, but it's really anywhere you want to build on here is pretty good. Though the dirt though is, the ground is hard as a rock. I mean, it hasn't rained for basically 2 months though. All right, so I'm on the edge of the woods. If the layout is like this, where my thumb is the first part of the field and you drive in by my thumbnail, right now I'm at the very tip of my index finger, about to go into the woods, and they've got a trail mode right here. The woods goes like pretty much downhill for the first 50 meters into the woods. So that just reaffirms right here in front of the woods, and this whole area on my index finger is a decent build site. It's got plenty of decent build locations. As soon as you get in the woods, I see plenty of old trees. Pretty similar to our woods. You know, maybe 40 years old to 70 years old, I'm not sure. But I'll take a better video when I see something interesting. Alright, so I'm about 100 meters into the woods on the very, I think, south side of the property. And right here is a whole bunch of property stakes. And I see a tree stand back there in the trees, in that tree. It's pretty old. But anyway, I think that this property stake marks where the three properties come together. So there's this property that's shaped like my thumb or my fingers right now. And then right in the middle of my index finger knuckle, this piece of land and this piece of land, two different properties kind of meet all together. So I think this is the corner of those two properties where they meet in the woods on this property. And you can see there's kind of a big ravine that goes off right here. And ravines and stuff, they go just through the property. Like I said, I'm only halfway through the woods right now, depth-wise. And yeah, the woods is a lot lower overall than the fields over there. All right, so right now I think that I'm roughly at the back of the woods. You can see that there's a lot of ravines and stuff back here. Like this goes straight down. I'm roughly in the southern middle back of the woods. I don't know where exactly the property line is this way, but this is where the trail starts. The trail I came down through there, and it turned up and went up this hill and goes back probably all the way around to the other side, to another exit somewhere. But there's a big ravine here, probably like, I don't know, 15 meters tall from the bottom to the top. And just lots of little streams and, like, I don't know what to call them, washways or whatever, that kind of converge back here near what I think is the property line. I think I'm roughly 200 meters into this woods, and they got the trail mowed for us. So probably near the back of the property. Lots of trees back here are fairly mature. It's a lot more dense of a woods than our woods. But, I mean, you can still see around. It kind of feels like you're walking on, what is that, Anderson 3D archery, like outdoor 3D archery range. Just the way the land is and the way the trees are. Alright, so here's a landmark I can recognize by looking at the picture I took of the GIS map. Right here I'm at the top edge back of this woods, and I can see the neighbors, a couple of houses and barn and garages and stuff right there. So I have made it all the way to the back. This trail I walked, so if the L is like this and over here is the woods, I've walked all the way like that, and now I'm coming back out of the woods. So I've made it to the back of the woods. I've seen everything so far on the property. I wonder if that's a deer rub on that tree that killed it. Doesn't quite look deep enough. As far as deer tracks go, I haven't seen any, but then again, the land is hard as a rock because it hasn't rained in a couple months, but this woods is big enough that I'm sure they're back here. Alright, so I'm about to walk out of the woods on the northern side of the property. There's the field. That's where I came from. I did a gigantic loop all the way through the woods, all the way to the back, from the south side to the back, all the way to the north side, and I'm walking out the north entrance. As you can see here, that's the building lot that I was talking about. And here's the big low area right inside the woods. Like, you have a good, I don't know, a good, like 15 meters or so. Is that right? Like 60, no, that'd be 45 feet. You don't have that much. You probably have a good, like 20 feet or so of drop. Right now the land outside is above my head, you know, where your grade is, right at the peak of that hill, 30 meters beyond the wood line. So, and I'm higher than over there. So yeah, I mean, you could build a basement here and all the water on the property would generally flow away from the house. And you definitely have places to take that drainage and trench it into the ground. That way you don't have to rely on a sump pump. You could definitely drain your perimeter drainage around your foundation into a low spot and keep a good grade to the pipe all the way out somewhere. So that's good. And right here, I'm in the field again. I went in down there and walked all the way through the woods. So let me go find Molly. And that's that. I mean, I like the property a lot. It's really secluded. You got infinity amount of woods this way, flat land. I mean, you could shoot a gun all the way across here, 300 meters, no problem. And yeah, you got all kinds of building sites and whatnot. All right, one last video, basically to summarize my thoughts on the property right now. First things first, it's gonna be sold within a week. It's got building sites everywhere. It's really secluded and nice woods and decent land. As far as money goes, you've got neighbors to the back, so maybe you can get power from back there somewhere. If you want to get power from this way, that's the driveway right there. You could build right here, and then just anywhere along this field you could build. And then you have a whole back field back there to do whatever you want with. And yeah, there's a lot of places you could build on this property. But yeah, I think it'll be sold really quickly, and yeah, that's about it. I like it. It's secluded.